So it's May 28th, May 28th, 2025. And you can see I don't have the scar on my face that I had. I have a scar right here. A scar on my face that I have in different videos. So I talked to a nurse, and she's like, "Oh, you turned your cheek like this." So I filmed it this time, bitch. I'll show you here. She's like, "Oh wow, oh wow. He's saying that he doesn't have a scar. Look at how my eyes. Look at my eyes. How come my eyes don't look like that now? How come my face look like this January 2nd, 2025? How come I don't have wrinkles like that?" You know what this nurse said? And then this doctor, look at my veins. My veins went like that. Like, look from this picture. Like, see, the veins aren't that deep. But this picture, look how deep, much deeper the veins are. It's the same video. How come that happens? You know what the doctor said? You're dehydrated. You're dehydrated. It's like, wow, how come old people have wrinkles? How come I look like this guy, Mark Anthony? How come I look like this guy, Hannibal of Carthage? The Romans feared Hannibal of Carthage. How come I look like all these guys? How come I look like Michelangelo? Let's see, how come I look like this guy? 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 How come I look like this guy, Field Marshal? How come my family went to a royal invitation? And I'm saying that I'm the true royal. It says right there, Princess Louise. My family went to a royal invitation, and on the back of it said Colin Campbell. And then, like, see right here, this is Queen Victoria. My mom looks like her. And my grandmother looks like her on my dad's side. So let's see right here. This looks like my mom's brother, my Uncle John. And this looks like my Aunt Liz, his sister. This guy looks like me. Oh, wow. Does that guy ever look like me? Right? So this was Queen Victoria's oldest daughter, Augustus Victoria. My mom looks like her. And this is what she looked like as a child. This is what my daughter looks like. So this is what she looked like. This is what my daughter looks like. And they're like, oh, he's not the true royal. He only looks like Edward VIII. And this is what my dad looks like. This is what was Augustus Victoria's husband. So my mom looks like his wife. Like, my mom looks like my daughter when she was a kid. And her husband looks like my dad. And her son looks like my mom and me. Oh, here's Marcus Aurelius that looks like me. This gives me claims to all thrones. Here's Edward VIII that looks like my twin. Once again, who has wrinkles like this and then disappear? The doctor's like, oh, when you were sleeping on the street, you must have been dehydrated. It's like, no, when I sleep, like, I'm talking about parasitic aliens, or parasitic humans, pardon me. And this Stephanie Meyer, the same spelling as my last name, she wrote a book about parasitic aliens. Right? Wow. You mean, I'll just show you right now. Like, here is what the human foot looks like. You know, I'll just show you my foot. How I have a bone in my foot. And once again, this is me adjusting the sound of my voice box. You could hear it in my voice box. Now, this is me adjusting the testosterone in my brain. You could hear it's not coming from my voice box. It's coming from my brain. Now, this is me adjusting the estrogen in my brain. You can tell it's not coming from my voice box. Once again, this is me trying to change my voice box. Right? So they say I have a chemical imbalance. How come I could change the chemicals in my brain? Fucking retards. Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it with your brain. Once again, I got a bone right there. That's a bone. There's a bone right there. There's a bone right there. Why do you think it sticks out? Why do you think it sticks out? You can see the bone right there. How come no other human has that bone? How come once again, this is me adjusting the testosterone, this is me adjusting the estrogen, and now this is me changing my voice box, and you could clearly see in the reverberation of my voice box, right? You could clearly tell it's coming from my voice box. So they're not giving me a positron. emission tomography test. They're not giving me an x-ray. The doctor keeps on trying to get out of the hearing tomorrow. Why would I get out of the hearing? I'm going to charge you once I'm done. He failed to mention, he's mentioning, he didn't know my daughter's name. He got it wrong. He mentioned, he said I worked at a company in 2007. I worked there in 2011, right? So he got the wrong year. He's using social media posts from a different year. I didn't contact my sister because 4 phones were stolen. 4 phones were stolen, and 2 were broken, and I couldn't access the internet. And this phone right here, they gave me a hard time at the hospital sending emails. It takes over an hour sometimes to send attachments, pictures. So anyways, I contacted my sister. My sister's birthday is February 27th. I contacted her on February 28th. So if it was perilous, and my health was perilous, and there was if I needed to be hospital medicated right away, there was such a grave concern for my physical and mental health, how come they didn't hospitalize me in February? How come they waited till May? When I see my sister in April for Easter, how come she didn't inform me then? If I didn't take my medication for 2 years because it's not fucking needed. Anyways, so they made me say that I had asthma in my 40s. They said that I developed schizophrenia after I said they would use it as a tactic at 42. Most schizophrenics are from 13 to 32 years old, not in their fucking 40s. So anyways, I'm like, hey, I guess I'll have to post this on YouTube because I get community rights violations on another platform. But anyways, so I'm like, hey, so why didn't they inform me in February or April? How come they're using social media posts from 6 years ago and then last year? And how come they're using lyrics from a song? And how come they said it was a community member that informed me, a doctor and a family member? I was hospitalized on May 5th. The letter from my sister's from May 9th. May 9th, 4 days after I was already hospitalized. But transparent videos that I should be able to subpoena once I sue. I should be able to subpoena the videos. It's going to show that there was no physical or mental deterioration. It's not like I never flipped out. I didn't go ballistic. I wasn't harmful to myself or another person. So how could they possibly extend my form legally? Right? And the doctor's like, okay, we're going to keep him in seclusion for 10 days so we can control the food that he eats. But when I came on the other side, you know what I seen? I seen many vacant spots on the board. And then under testimony, he's like, all the spots were taken, so we had to keep him in seclusion for 10 days. So I'm going to subpoena. I'm not going to be able to get patient records, but I should be able to subpoena patient numbers. I should be able to subpoena them. Be like, oh, what's the patient numbers? How many patients were there, right? And there was plenty of beds available because when I'm on this side that I'm on now, I could choose the food that I eat, so it's harder to set me up. Once again, they're like, oh, he has grandiose ideas. Well, how come I'm not a rocket scientist. How come your species, because I'm a different species than you, how come your species never put a magnetic field around satellites? The last time that the coronal mass ejection happened and hit Earth, it knocked out all telegraphs in the 1800s, set them on fire. So if it were to happen again, directed at Earth, it would knock out the internet, life as we know it. And so your species, once again, these rocket scientists that have been putting up satellites since the 50s, they never put a magnetic field around their satellites to protect them. And they never put satellites around the planets in our solar system looking for asteroids that could hit Earth, particularly ones that come from the sun. And they've never used my suggestions and to use nanotechnology and artificial intelligence to redirect the sun from the depleted region of the ozone. So that's 3 ways to save civilization. And they're like, oh, he has grandiose ideas. I was the first in the world in a math game, and I was first in the world in 2 games. And in grade 2, I was offered to do grade 6 math for half the day. Grade 9, I was offered to do a provincial math competition. And when I was 19, I was offered to go to New York to try out for model, and there was going to be 20 to 50 modeling agents. But I wanted to be known for my brain rather than my looks. So that being said, I came out with Wi-Fi currency. You know why I came out with Wi-Fi currency? To stop the bribe, to stop corrupt politicians, and to track criminal proceeds so they could stop organized crime. And you know what the government did? They didn't act on this for the last 7 years. I haven't heard of any crimes being stopped. That means every kilo of cocaine worldwide is tracked based on money, paper money, because that paper money goes on the internet. So when they pay, like it costs, I don't know what it costs for like a kilo of cocaine, but in the movies it's always like $50,000 or whatever, right? So that $50,000, all that money would go on the internet. Like especially if there's a lot of money together, it would indicate to the system that there's a drug proceeding. Because in the States, you can only bring $10,000 in the States. Why do people need $50,000 cash at once? So if there was that much money together, the system would know that there's that much money and there's likely criminal proceeds going on. How come they haven't stopped the crime? How come they haven't did this? And once again, I came first out of 8,000 in a poker tournament, came first out of 1467 in a poker tournament, came first out of 1252 in a poker tournament. So I won 3 poker tournaments with over 1,000 opponents. I put a guy in a straight flush. There was 2 straight I put him on the King of Hearts, or King of Clubs, pardon me. Put him on the King of Clubs, and there was the 8 of Clubs. There was a 4 of a kind. There was 3 full houses. There was a 3 of a kind and 3 2-pair possibilities. The odds were over 1 in 20 million. Like it was either 26.3 or 25.6 million. The odds were like they're hacking the validity of the math in my brain, because I should be able to figure it out. But the government allows, even though I have unique brain frequency, nobody can think at the frequency that I do. The government allows these people to access my brain. Fentanyl users, people in this hospital. I'm in the mental health hospital. There's 2 people that look like my father. One guy left, one guy's here. There's one woman that left yesterday that looked like my mom. Her name is Bridget. And since I've been in the hospital, my testicles have been smaller and I have gray pubic hair. You know what Bridget happened? The Bridget that left yesterday, she complained that before she was hospitalized, she said she had 2 gray pubic hair. Now she's completely gray in the pubic region. So 2 patients are complaining that our pubic hair has changed at the Sewer Area Hospital, an American and a Canadian. And so once again, there's 2 people that were hospitalized 5 years ago when she just showed her face. Like she's like, I just wrote a song called Trippin', and it's a really good song. I can write, I wrote Alone at Last. I think it could win an R&B Grammy. I wrote a song called Summer in Those Jeans. I think it could win a country Grammy. And, I post, I need an abacus to add up all the bullshit I deal with daily. An abacus adds up things. Right? I could eat a box of laxatives and still not give a shit. Laxatives make you shit your pants. I'm very funny. And so anyways, I'm the most talented human on the planet. I could jump kick an 8-foot ceiling. The first time I played hardball baseball, I played bach, where you throw a tennis ball against the wall, and I played softball in phys ed class and soccer, baseball. Right? But the first time I played hardball, where they pitched to me with a hardball, like with a hard baseball, I was 15 years old, and I tried out for the tournament team, and competing against kids that were playing since T-ball, 3 years old. I made the rep team. It was $2,000, and my parents couldn't afford it. Even though my dad was one of the most talented people, the most talented guy with Generation 1 biology that ever lived. And his IQ was over like 240. He did an IQ test at 40 years old, and they made him black out for 25 years, and he still scored 140. And that was diminished. That was his body diminished. I seen him make 5 grown men go flying in 5 different directions, and I'm even stronger than that. I was wrestling with my dad, like when I was about 19 years old. He hit me in the face with a monkey wrench, like right off my face. I didn't even feel it. When I was 28, I went to the bar, and my son was just born. So I was like, whoa, yeah. I was super excited. You know what happened? Guys were shoulder checking me all night long. So you know what happened at the end of the night? I'm like, the next guy that shoulder checks me, I'm going to defend myself. So at the end of the night, some guy shoulder checked me. I pushed him. He came at me. I knocked him out. You know what happened after that? 3 guys came after me. And then I knocked all 3 of them. I knocked at the first guy before the second or third guy could throw a punch. I knocked at the second guy before the third guy could throw a punch. Knocked at the third guy. Then guess what happened? 13 guys altogether came up and approached me, and I knocked at all 13 guys with 13 punches. And guess how many punches they threw? 0. They threw fucking 0 punches against me. I could scissor kick like this. I could, like at 6 feet, I could kick down a hat, kick it up, and make the hat land on my head. Right? I could kick 2 different hats that are anywhere. I had this move that I called
I'm going to kick the guy that's talking shit in the back row. So if he had say a guy that's short that had like his bodyguard or whatever, I do a spin kick over his head and then knock the guy out in the back row for talking shit. So these guys, they hack my masculinity. This is my natural voice. They don't let the king have his natural voice because his natural voice kills pedophiles. And they don't like that. And guess what? Once I'm king, I'm not going to be restricted, motherfuckers. I'm going to challenge all you pound for pound clowns. And I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to stack you up. Like, I could fucking toss you like 50 feet. 50 feet in the air. 50 feet in the fucking air. Once again, when I look up at the sky and stars, I see them in 3 dimensions. When I blow my nose, I have clear mucus. You're not going to be able to stop me. You're not going to be able to stop me because, in North Korea, when you go to prison, everybody in your family goes to prison. And in Thailand, you can't even look at the king in the eyes. And I'm the true king. My family went to a royal ball, and one of my family members bedded a member there. Colin Campbell, he bedded Queen Victoria. That's why there's Victoria's Secret. I'm related to twice as many royals as anybody on the planet. And I got the strongest fucking DNA on the planet. My ex-wife said to my aunt that my voice was too manly. They couldn't handle my manly voice. You know what the government did when I was an infant? When I was circumcised, they tapered my fucking girth. My girth, my manliness. I have the best fucking penis on the fucking planet. I can make every one of you guys obsolete. All you generational pedophiles. I could steal your wife away from you, no problem. Want to know why? Because I got that salacious voice. I got that mellifluous voice that I could charm her fucking pants off. Not a fucking problem, man. I've abstained from sex because I don't want to get fucking raped. You're generational pedophiles, and I'm gonna execute you. And guess what kings got to do? It's called high treason. It's called high treason, and that's 25 years in prison. And once again, with the North Korean rule, everybody in your family is going to prison for 25 years concurrently for each time you try to set me up for attempted regicide. Attempted regicide is trying to kill the king. And you're trying to kill the Christian Eric Garney Meyer. That's why there's phlegm in my voice, right? You hack, once again, you hack the masculinity of my voice. So that's attempted regicide. 25 years in prison for your brother's kids, your sister's kids, your mom and dad. They're all going to prison. And you can't complain to anybody at that point because I own the fucking world. And guess what? I might seek asylum in Russia. You know why? There's 9 million more women than men. Fuck you, Canada.